the 5 principles are: life is a gift. Greet each moment gratefully. You are always receiving. Gratitude waits for something to happen, and gratefulness just waits for us to be awake. So life is a gift. Greet each moment gratefully. You are always receiving. We don't have to wait to receive. We're receiving in every single moment if we maintain our awareness about that. The second principle is everything is surprise. Open to wonder, opportunities abound. So everything is a surprise. Open to wonder, be in curiosity, lean in to that sense of surprise. And suddenly there's opportunities everywhere. Third one, just run through them. The ordinary actually is extraordinary. There is no such thing as ordinary. The ordinary is extraordinary.
Yes.
Take nothing for granted, and life is abundant. You have all the abundance you need in the world when you treat everything as extraordinary. It's just the truth. If you look at our opportunity to be here right now on Zoom, connecting hundreds of miles apart on this day, in this moment during COVID, and we have technology and we have it's just so stunning. And so there's a willingness to be in awe. And there's a vulnerability to awe that is so gorgeous. The willingness to be thin-skinned, to experience things really fully, all of it. What I call the great fullness of life. So the great fullness of life is everything. It's what you were saying, which is the mud, the all of it. So can we be great? One of the chapters in the book is gratefulness is gratitude for the great fullness of life. That's what it is. That basically
is gratitude for the great
fullness of life. That nothing escapes us, that we're not holding back, but we're actually fully leaning into all of what's being offered to us. Fourth principle, appreciation is generative. Tend what you value, and what you value thrives. And if that isn't a principle for parenting, I don't know what is.
No kidding. Wait, I'm writing this down, Kristen. Tend what you value.
And what you value thrives.
And what you value thrives.
And this is a great, it's different than kind of all the manifestation thinking, which is if you appreciate something, you get more of it. We don't appreciate in order to get more, but what we appreciate, Lynn Twist, who I used to work with, says, who wrote a book called The Soul of Money, which is beautiful. What you appreciate appreciates. So what you appreciate appreciates, which is it grows, it thrives. And what's true about that is that has to do with your values. Tend what you value, tend your values, tend your principles, tend what you treasure, and those things will thrive. If we don't tend what we care about, it's never going to thrive. And so it's an immediate feedback loop. So appreciation is actually generative. And the last one is love is transformative. Love is transformative. When you embrace the great fullness of life, your heart overflows. And your heart overflows into generosity, into empathy, into compassion. It engages us. It becomes an engaged way of being in the world, because when we embrace the great fullness of life and we see clearly, clear seeing, again, all of these similarities to Buddhism, when we see clearly and we feel clearly and deeply, we are moved. Our hearts overflow. And it's just a natural thing as the extension of generosity. The extension of gratefulness is generosity, as opposed to we learn that gratitude is a response to generosity. I think generosity is an outcome of a foundation of gratefulness, that when we live gratefully, generosity just blossoms. It becomes so organic to want to give and to want to feel into other people's experience. So I've always been intrigued by money, and I've worked in that field a lot in my life. And so I always used to think, like, what comes first? Asking, giving, receiving, thanking, how does this whole thing work? And I think from the wellspring, the deep wellspring of gratefulness, when we live that way, it's extraordinary what emerges in our lives, what arrives in our lives, that sense of we're always receiving, and what that blossoms us into is a more generous way of being.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Janla Van Zant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.